Welcome, fellow fans of Clash of Clans. There's a way to start out an episode. That's what I like to see. First defense of the season. I haven't even had time to attack yet. Winning trophies. All right, what are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to get into war attacks. But first, I was thinking, should I buy some of these? You guys think I should buy these and end up with like 120 million gold? I don't know, it was just a thought because, you know, we did that episode where I had a ton of gold. I've still got 59 million. Maybe we should just see how much gold I can get. I mean, could I get $500 million? Could I get $1 billion gold someday? It's just a thought for a future episode. I just want to kind of show you the home base, check out that Legend League base that got me the victory. But today, specifically, we are talking about queen walks or when you can't queen walk. So, you know, there was a recent episode where I showed, I believe it was the episode with Itsu, where he was doing a bunch of queen walks, and I've showed all sorts of queen walks since then, and players are telling me, Galadon, Galadad, what do I do when I can't queen walk? When a base has single target infernos? And, well, here's the thing, that you don't queen walk. Okay, it's pretty simple. Now, I do have a replay of a player 3-starring with a queen walk on a single target inferno in a couple of minutes. So it is possible, although, hey, that's the whole reason that you're supposed to know a multitude of attacks. So if you can't do the queen walk, get her to come around one side from the funnel on the other side, then you send everybody down the middle, then you got all the spells that are going to get used, and everybody's going to keep the queen alive as well. You can have all the units that are going to go around, you got the little cleanup units, maybe the barbarian king on the right hand side, right down the middle, you're going to get the rest of the inferno towers down, everybody's going to go through right down there, and you're going to get a really high percentage. The queen's healers stay alive really long, you keep them away from the inferno tower and the air defenses, then you got a bunch of their cleanup units get through the middle, and then the next thing you know, you got everybody building up, you got 3-star! Now, I really hope some of you were watching that on 1.5 times speed. But anyway, so if you're not going to do that like Lost Fezzy from Lost Phoenix, then perhaps, well, here you go. Okay, so this is obviously not a queen walk. Now, queen walk miner, very popular. This is one of those electron miner attacks. So a little bit different, but notice the number of defenses that get wiped out here. Now, it looks like maybe this attacker wanted the Inferno Tower. I have a mental block against that big white thing. It's called the Eagle Artillery. Maybe this attacker wanted to get the Eagle Artillery down, but a number of other defenses are out of here. 11% of this base, 12% rather, of this base is already gone. And check out the multi-stage attack right here. So stage 1, Electron. Stage 2, haste the loons. Get them in after this Inferno Tower. So watch how close this is. Just barely. The crash damage from the last loon takes out the Inferno Tower, and now you've got 15-16% of the base down. Baby Dragon on Baby Dragon action right there. That actually is going to help complete a funnel. You can kind of see what's going to happen right here as the miners go in for the third phase of the attack. They are definitely going to be pathing towards that town hall, and that just carving out of those few buildings right there has really narrowed the path of the miners. So obviously, there are so many different ways to accomplish attacks like this without using queen walks. The queen walk is a great strategy, but it can be very difficult. Predicting the pathing of a walking queen, especially early on, is trickier than it first appears. We're definitely going to get somebody from the Dark Looters, a top 10 in the world clan, onto the channel soon to talk a little bit more about queen walk pathing and how to watch out for not just the first layer of buildings, but the second layer of buildings that determine the direction the archer queen takes. So finally, here come the miners in after that Eagle Artillery that this attacker probably really wanted to see go down with that first clone of the Electro Dragon and the loons in the center of the base. But again, it works out well. It creates less damage to the miners at the back end of this attack, and also is kind of designed to funnel the pathway for the miners. Always critical if you're using heal spells in an attack to be able to predict the path. It also, of course, is helpful with other spells like haste and rage, but especially critical with heal. And right here, this attack is going to take quite a while to get completed. And notice the Archer Queen, on her way to wipe out the rest of the base, gets stalled by the Lava Hound. A poison spell is remaining. That's going to try to help out. But the miners, they've got this. They have this on their own, maybe with the barbs. The barbs and miners going to get the job done. But check out the queen coming in for the coup de grace, that final blow. She's like, yeah, this is me. I got this. So no doubt those barbs were left bitter as the Archer Queen gets credit for the 3-star, but a beautiful attack, not queen walking, but we'll get there in just a moment. So here you have a base with all single target Infernos, and yes, this attacker went in against Super Schizo with a queen walk. So how do you queen walk against single target Infernos? Pretty simple. You got to remember two things: the queen's ability and the freeze spell. Now, of course, Ice Golem's also a great way to go. Can be a little bit more difficult to get them in there at the right time to save an Archer Queen. But as you can see right here, the Archer Queen is going to start to head towards this first single target Inferno, as there are some funneling units coming in from the top. Of course, we see 3 freeze spells at the ready. A well-timed rage right here is going to get that Archer Queen's health back. In comes the siege machine. That's going to help get through the walls. Now there, bad luck. The freeze is needed because the single target Inferno locked onto the queen. Now the rest of these units, not nearly as valuable as the queen. That's fine. Fry the siege machine. If you have to, fry an Ice Golem, fry a P.E.K.K.A. Obviously, this attacker would love to see a bowler get targeted as opposed to any of those other units. But again, it works out, and now 2 of the 3 single target Infernos are out of here. Free spell on the Town Hall as it goes down for the first star. Lots of units in the core. Now, the last single target Inferno does take out the Barbarian King right here. The freeze spell a little bit late, but the Archer Queen still has her ability. She's going to come in, take out that Eagle Artillery. There she goes. Doesn't even need her ability. The Inferno Tower had not powered up enough to really do any significant damage, so easily she gets her way through. Great jump spell right there as the Queen is going to continue. Just like I said in the fast-forwarded Queen Walk we saw earlier, the more time that Queen spends alive with her healers, the more likely you're going to be to get the 3-star. Works out pretty well. At about 80% damage, you'll see the Queen finally go down. And again, a narrow path for these remaining units to follow. A couple of loons are going to help out with that last Archer Tower on the left. And you've got more than enough units right here as these units are going to wrap around eventually. Check out those witches. I'm telling you, bowlers and witches. Bowlers and witches. What's a good name for bowlers and witches? Bewitches. Bewitched. Bewitch. Don't say it. Let's go with bewitched or bewitch, okay? Not... Anyway, so yeah, lots of skeleton army working its way through here. And again, so there's so many different ways to achieve a 3-star. And I know I sound like whatever, a Supercell salesman, but I gotta say, I love the balance of the game. When in any given clan war, you were likely to see at least 6, 8, 10 different attack strategies. It's not like everybody is using dragons or electro dragons or miners. This wide variety, and I feel like that's why Clash of Clans is in a really good place right now. I love the balance, I love the variety of attacks, and no doubt we are going to see some crazy attacks, maybe some we've never seen before in CWL during the big $1 million championship. Now, we're going to take one more attack, and of course, there is a single target Inferno, but check out Taji, okay, one of those 4 is right. Go in with bat spells. This is in a very recent war after the double bat nerf. Check out the freeze spell on 2 of the most dangerous structures you got to worry about. The Wizard Tower and the multi-target Inferno. Once those 2 are gone right at the tail end of the freeze spell, then these bats go mad. Look at them, just defense after defense after defense. And believe it or not, they can't quite finish off the Eagle Artillery. Unbelievably close right here. This attack is going to end really well anyway, despite the fact that the Eagle is left with about 2%. Okay, 3.77526 repeating percent health. Now, again, you also see the bat spells served 2 purposes. With the clean up baby dragons top right of your screen, not only did they take out most of the key defenses, they damaged the defending Archer Queen as well, but they've created a funnel. This base is now in an L shape, and that is the path that the balloons and the dragons are going to follow. You've got all 3 heroes up there as well. Far right of the screen looked like maybe something was left, but those baby dragons got through almost everything, and that is exactly what you want to see. Again, that's going to help keep these units close together, and then you get max value out of, that's right, not only rage spells, heal spells, haste spells, but the Grand Warden's ability. That is absolutely critical. Keeping the Grand Warden close to home, keeping it close to those valuable units, and timing that ability perfectly as Taji did. And sure enough, watch the Stone Slammer, the Archer Queen. They are going to be nearly full health throughout this entire raid. This is just overkill, okay? I know I've used that word a lot. Another thing, check out the dragons against the single target Inferno. They do a great job, as do loons. They are going to get in there, wipe out that last single target Inferno easily, and a ton of units are still on the screen, including the Archer Queen's ability. That's right, wasn't even needed. And the red Builder Hut, last one to go down. Beautiful attack right there. So hey, there's many different ways to triple a base. You don't have to Queen Walk it, and you can Queen Walk if you've got the right spell composition and you've practiced a little bit and you know your timing. So hey, as always, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your time. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much, and be sure that you are staying subscribed because you never know when sneak peeks might begin. Talk to you guys later. In fact, I hope I talk to you again tomorrow when I have another episode full of full attacks. Full attacks. That does not work. It's not like as catchy as full attacks.